Hey guys, welcome back. I've got another Materials 101 video for you today, and this is going to be about paints, glues and varnishes that I use it. So stay tuned. And the first thing I'm going to show you is the paint that I put down first before I paint anything on the resin pieces. And I just use this as a buffer ring where the paint can grab onto something. And this is a white paint from Dervian Matisse, and it's a pretty cheap paint. You can find it at any craft store for around $15 to $20. I got mine from a chain craft store in Australia called Riot, so they're found pretty much all around Australia, but have a look online or anything if you can find it a bit cheaper. And the next paint I'm going to show you is my staple black paint. It's Chroma Coral black acrylic paint, and it's another pretty cheap paint that's made in Australia. It also comes in white, which I use sometimes. And you can find it in most craft stores. I got mine from Melbourne Artist Supplies for $8.95, so it's pretty cheap for the whole pot. And my paint pots have lasted me for about 5 years, and they haven't gone bad, dry or anything, so it's a really great quality paint. Now the Chroma Coral acrylic paints also come in tubes, which have a variety of colours. It's not a huge collection, but it does have the staple colours which you can mix and create the colour that you want without any problems. And they mix really well, so there's no clumping or anything like that. I did have one issue with one tube of paint that I had. It separated for some reason. I have a feeling the expiry date was past, so that's the only problem I've had. I got this from the same place as the pots, Melbourne Artist Supplies, and you can get them for a couple of bucks, so they're a pretty cheap paint. And moving on to the more expensive paints, it's Lumiere by Jacquard, and they come in a variety of colours. Again, the collection's not too big, but they're a really good quality paint, and they come in mostly metallic colours. I mostly use these paints for irises or painting any sort of embellishments. So these pots have lasted me about 5 years, and again they haven't separated or clumped or dried out or anything, so really good quality paint. Jacquard also makes a variety of different things like paints, fabric paints, pigments, inks. Yeah, they've got a whole range of things that you can try out, but it is a little bit pricey, so make sure you know what you want to do with it. So this is my favourite colour from the Lumiere range. It's a really nice vibrant blue and it goes on really well. So these little pots are about $12, $13, and I got mine from Melbourne Artist Supplies again because they're a bit cheaper, but you can get it from Eckersley's and any sort of specialty arts and crafts shops, or even online. And moving on to some varnishes now, and this is one that I use to make shiny surfaces. So it's a gloss medium varnish by Liquitex, and this is a water-based medium which you can thin with water, 25% water it is. And you can mix with any acrylic paint or even spray it through an airbrush. And again, I got this from Melbourne Artist Supplies for about $17, but you can have it look online, you might be able to find it a bit cheaper. So here's a matte medium by Liquitex, and I don't use this all this much on my Artdolls, but more so for my BJDs. And you can thin it down with water as it is water based, and I got this from Melbourne Artist Supplies for around $17 as well. Now moving on to a varnish, and this is Liquitex Matte Varnish, and the difference is this is a spirit-based varnish, and this actually protects against UV damage, and you can't thin it with any water, so you can't really spray it through an airbrush or anything. So I use it to just brush it on, but you do have to be careful with how you brush it on because it can become cloudy if you put too much on. And again, I got this from Melbourne Artist Supplies for about $17, which you can probably find at any specialty craft stores. And moving on to some glue, and this is my staple glue which I use to glue anything to the resin pieces. Sometimes this doesn't work and I'll have to use a super glue, but generally for everything else I use this glue and I find it really great. And I just get this from a local chain craft store called Riot here in Australia, so you could probably find something similar in your local area. And I'll just quickly take you through some of the brushes that I use to paint my resin pieces or any other project that I paint. And these are just cheapy brushes from any local craft store. You don't have to buy anything extravagant, it's just not worth it because I end up wrecking the brushes anyway, and I'm sure you would too. So these are just a couple of bucks. And these are just a synthetic fibre brush, nothing special, and they were the largest ones that I used for painting larger areas. And these ones are the smaller brushes that I use for getting in little crevices and stuff like that around the eyes, inside the nose, and these are really handy. Again, just a couple of bucks, synthetic brushes, nothing extravagant. But I do recommend getting different size brushes because you will need them, so just invest in maybe 20 bucks worth of brushes. Alright guys, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing the paints, varnishes and glues that I use. Definitely have a go of your own, and if you want me to make any videos in the future, just leave it in the comments down below. Leave a like if you like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!